someone was like, "What's your favorite type of woman?" And then John is like, "My wife. She's very nice." And then they ask George or someone or Paul, and they're like, "What's your favorite type of woman?" And he goes, "John's wife." And the funniest part is that John did not laugh. So whoever, he's like, "Hey, I'm just kidding, man." And you got to know, I mean, Yoko's got to be a nightmare at home.
I
think we're recording
Is this
here.
episode going to look like we are on a roller coaster?
The whole time.
Yeah, we do move in, yeah. We haven't done Intro.
Welcome to Overshadowed, everybody. We're just going to get started off right now. The only podcast about the siblings and spouses of people who changed the world. This week, our guest is the comedian and Astoria resident, Stephen Rogers.
Hi, everybody.
He lives in Astoria.
Yes, that's where I live.
Pretty funny. He's pretty funny.
Nice gum strategy, by the way, too.
Oh, thanks.
Dude, I do that too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I put it behind my ear. Sometimes I forget, take a nap, and it's in my hair. What are
my
you
God.
gonna do? You know?
Really?
Yeah,
I
that's
gotta
why
tell you,
I always
got
keep,
a lot dumber as the sentence went on.
I always keep peanut butter behind my other
was
ear
gonna
just
say,
in
yeah.
case.
Oh, no.
Salt and pepper.
Just a swipe.
Oh, man. That
Yeah.
was great.
My girlfriend hates that I do that. So are you gonna eat
Oh,
that
really?
gum later?
I don't know.
You might. You'll want
I
the
might,
option.
I might want some
You
gum.
want the
I
option.
might want some room temp gum
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that, you know.
Some dry age.
Charles has cats, so there might be some litter residue on it by the time we're
Yeah,
done.
you pick up the flavor of where you go.
It's walnut
Yeah.
litter, too, so maybe you get a little nutty aftertaste.
Walnut
in it.
litter?
Yeah.
Ew, dude.
Is that good?
I eat it. Yeah, it's nice. It's good fiber. What you guys talking about?
Man, I'm having a lot of fun already.
One of my biggest hang-ups with Charles is that he always goes, "I have no money," and then he's like, "I have walnut cat litter."
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
my money goes to health.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for your cats and their poops.
Dude, it's crazy. I've been writing about this. I don't even think it'll be a bit. It's just like something I have to get out of my brain.
Please.
But I weekly spend a lot of money on sand for them to take a dump in.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
From
the
Ibiza,
dumbest
right? Sand
finance
from Ibiza, from Barcelona. Or,
It's actually from Epstein Island.
Oh, nice.
I'm
Young
edgy
sand.
now.
yeah.
Moving Austin, folks.
No, yeah, I buy. It's like the dumbest thing I can think of
That
that
is
I buy
funny.
is I'm just buying stuff for them to poop on.
Yeah.
And I also have Triumph the insult dog for me to poop on. All right.
Here's
Why not-
I have
I
a-
laughed at your bits.
No, that one was
I
good.
didn't have to.
Well, you said it was. Yeah, you said it wasn't a bit, so I didn't want to laugh.
Damn it.
You also
I-
didn't believe in yourself as you continued the sentence.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you're right.
I backed away.
Here's
as you
one.
backed
Here's
away.
a bit that I have tried that not to beg for laughs, but to actually relate to you on this. I'm trying to write a bit about how my cats watch me poop. I mean, not watch well. That is true too. They have. My cats are like Catholic moms. They can't have a door closed. Every time I
Oh
go through,
yeah,
they're like, "What are you
yeah,
doing?"
yeah.
I'm like,
doing
"There's
in
no
there?"
girls."
My cats are the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Why you have your phone in the shower?
yeah. What are you doing in there with it?
Yeah, your hair's not even wet. What's going on?
Shower's been on long.
That's the biggest tell. I would always be just going to town in the shower, and I'm like, I got to wet my hair a little bit for plausible deniability.
Oh, for sure.
I can't do that in the shower. I did, I think, once, and
Can't wash your hair in the shower?
no, I can't do it in the shower. I do toilet.
Yeah, that's good.
I
I was washing my
For you to
hair
poop on.
in the sink or something, or I was washing like my pits in the sink, and Molly was like, "Oh, you're taking a whore bath," and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what?"
Yeah, or a Puerto Rican shower, they call it. Not to be.
Oh.
And that was Charles that said that.
Yeah.
Again,
Hey, I
Charles
had a
Angle.
stepdad once who was Puerto Rican. He said it. He's gone. He's gone now. I had him deported. But,
My dad was Puerto Rican once.
It did sound like it was a phase he went
ooh,
through.
let me tell you this. Speaking of a little stereotype thing, I told Zach this, but this came up, and I want to know your thoughts because someone got agitated with me. We're all nice guys, and I feel like we're trying to be nice, and then when people get mad at me, I'm like, you could tell that I'm just trying to be a nice guy, right?
Yeah.
Our Steve
Oh,
and
yeah.
I
We have the same barber.
Share a barber.
You can tell.
And yeah, I get jealous because every time I go to my barber, he just spends the whole time talking about Steven.
Yeah,
And I'm
I pay extra every haircut.
He goes, "How you seen Steven?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I repeat the same stuff every time too. It's like a grandparent with no. I'm like,
It's really
he lives
great.
near me.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
very
do the
good.
same thing. We talk about you.
Good. You better, because he talks about you a lot.
I
Oh, he's
What does
very,
he say?
very busy, man.
Very
He's
busy
so busy.
I love when everyone there says my name because there's a in front of Steven. It's a Steven.
You're
And-
Esteban.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah. They add a syllable to my
Yeah,
name,
that's
and I
great.
really love it.
Yeah, it's like they kind of forget your name before they say it.
Steven.
Steven.
And I think that's so cool.
I like it. My grandma was eventually. All right.
What was I gonna? Oh,
So you get agitated.
Our barbershop is owned by a guy who puts on a lot of events at this barbershop. There's an upstairs event space now and a downstairs event space. So recently, last week, they did a rave at the barbershop.
I didn't know about this. I would have
Yes.
gone.
Was it during
Yeah.
your cuts?
What?
Yeah,
Was it during
no,
your
people
cuts?
the cuts were fucked up, but everybody was on ecstasy, so they
Yes,
loved
it didn't
it.
matter.
So I showed
They
up.
were cutting hair that was going to be there eventually.
Yeah, just like what else do you? I've never taken drugs at a rave. What do you do at a rave?
I've been to a rave.
I think
Do
they
this.
I think the first 30
No,
minutes
that's to
they
get your
probably
cat
just
to come over.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
like
telling you where.
they probably just kept folding your ear and you're like, "Hey, can you start cutting my hair?" And they just keep folding it
And they're like,
"Oh,
Zach, there's
whoa."
gum here.
Make
Call
it
back.
Peanut butter here.
just a 4 on the gum. I want a little bit later.
Oh, all right. I'm ready to start.
All right, here we go.
Wait, let me tell you this pet peeve that happened to me.
Ugh,
So I went.
this is
Shut
my pet
up.
peeve.
It takes
Do
2
you want-
minutes. Yeah, when the co-host talks and
story.
takes the limelight. So I went to the rave. All the barbers are there. I'm saying hey to everybody. There's a girl, Barbarous. I don't know what the time is, stewardess. And I say hey to her, and she goes, "Hey, this is meet my boyfriend Hasalampaganagos." And I was like,
Wait, is that a real name?
his name was 19 syllables. It was like the longest fish in Hawaii.
Well, you forgot the in front of it.
how's it like? Oh my gosh.
And I was like, what? Because we're at a Greek name is the hardest to understand at a rave.
Yes.
And he goes,
Yeah, because it sounds like they're just listening to the sounds the music's making.
it's like, I love this, yeah.
Oh, is that the lyrics? I
I thought it was if I was green, I would die. So I go, what? And she goes, this Charles Mead, just call him Haas. He's a comedian. And I go, oh, do you have a Greek name? And he goes, yeah. And I go, oh, cool. Are you from Astoria? Because
Yes.
I'm just trying
Famously Greek
Yes.
area.
And the
So
Greeks?
just trying to do a quick little like, hey, and he goes, oh, I guess I'm just a stereotype to you. And I go, what? And he goes, so you want? How about I ask you to tell me a joke? And I'm like,
He probably was gonna.
yeah. And also, I have jokes ready.
Oh,
I'm a
really?
You
comedian.
have
I
tzatziki
I-
in your pocket? I doubt it.
Yeah, but I go,
I
what's the
highly doubt it.
problem? And he
No,
goes,
he was just happy to see you.
I'm here actually.
Now we're starting the fun.
All right,
Okay,
I'm ready.
right
Hey, I'm
now.
Steve.
But yeah, I thought that was annoying. So I did this. I go, what's the problem? He goes, oh, I'm a Greek from Astoria. I go, are you? And he goes, I'm from Connecticut. And I go, well, then you're not a and he goes, yeah, I'm just a stereotype. And to shut down the conversation, I just went, me too. And then I just, but is that rude to ask if you're
Yeah.
from?
He's
I
probably
just-
just sick of it.
Yeah.
But like that is a reasonable question.
I thought so too.
Also, on a constant basis, do we get asked, "Will you tell me a joke?" So I can understand him being frustrated, but it doesn't. I don't think it means anything.
My theory
Yeah.
was that once he heard you're a comedian, some people just think that to talk to a comic, you have to bust their balls.
Sure.
So he was just trying to be funny,
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
which,
Yeah.
never works out.
All right. I
It
love
is
you,
crazy
Haas.
how much they change once they find out what you do.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of them, they go really
Just try to sack tap
edgy.
you verbally.
They go edgy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's a great way to put it. Actually,
Yeah,
that's
that is
exactly
true.
what it
It's
feels like.
it's an over familiarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
like
can be
verging
my
on
worst self
bullying.
with this guy right now.
Yeah.
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 I
It's like I don't know you, man.
Yeah, they turn into Reddit themselves. They become like a weird
Oh, like
little,
reply.
yeah.
Yeah, like weird little like Reddit.
I bet. Well, I would imagine doctors get it. I would imagine maybe masseuses probably not, Because they literally have to be like, "Will you touch me?"
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I feel like there's a couple of jobs where they're gonna immediately start talking to you about that thing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have this weird spot on my elbow that
Yeah.
won't go away. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when I tell them I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Why is it so quiet?
Yeah, I did get a little. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
I was doing a bit because I clearly told
No,
a weird
no,
one.
no. No, it's never you, Steven.
This is fun.
It's one of us.
But
Should we get to our topic of the day here?
yeah, Beatles.
We got the
baby.
Beatles. Steven, you brought this up as a topic. You put us in this.
Wait,
you
what?
put us in this hole.
You just told the listeners if this one stinks.
But if it's great, it's to our credit.
Yeah,
because we invited you. But
Sounds like you win either way.
yeah, that's right. That's how we like to do things. But I was never a huge fan of the Beatles. I just never got into them.
Sure.
But I listened to Lonely Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club, Lonely
Dude.
Island. Yeah,
Lonely
I listened to
Island
some
one.
Lonely Island covers of the Beatles, and I'm like, these guys might be pretty good.
Sgt. Pepper's so good.
Is it your
Yeah.
favorite album?
It might be because it was. First of all, I'm actually a Stones over Beatles guy.
whoa.
I think.
Okay, so this.
But this is recently.
No, I don't know why I didn't bring Stones to you, but for
No.
some reason we were
we could
talking.
do Stones next time,
Yeah, but I love
depending on
if
the
you do
success
good.
of this one.
I love the Beatles a lot, and I feel like they're more historic than
I agree. Yeah.
than the Stones. But what's awesome about Sgt. Pepper is it was of the height of the Beatles' popularity, and they made an album like "What If We Were Another Band?" So that's the band.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
And then they just like did a different style.
Yeah,
it's still
the
very
third
Beatles,
song
but
is, it's like a sitar.
yeah.
And then there's one that's kind of like a ballad, and
It's-
I love Fix the Hole. That's a good one.
Yes, it's fantastic. The album is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's kind of proggy
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I never got into them, but I was listening to them. They got some good stuff.
There's two. I forget the name of the albums because it's a compilation. There are two different compilation albums.
One.
Not one, but that is like I think
Okay.
a greatest hits album.
Oh, yeah,
But there's
yeah.
two albums. One that's them looking over a balcony with short Beatles hair, and then it's the same look, but it's them when they're more hippier with the beards
Oh,
and stuff.
nice.
And it's the blue one is all their once they've clearly started to getting into drugs and
Yeah.
TM and all this stuff, which is Sgt. Pepper and beyond. And then the red one is they're more like when they broke into America and stuff. They're
Yeah.
poppy stuff. And I really like post-drugs meditation Beatles a lot.
Yeah. Well, it seemed in the beginning they were a little bit more. I mean, it's weird to say this, but kind of bubblegummy.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
and there is that quote of I think it was Paul being like, in the beginning it was just we love you ladies by our song.
I
Yeah.
want
They're
to
kind of-
hold your hands.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
They
kinda
said they
like
were
a-
writing love songs basically to their fans of like, thank you guys for buying the album.
Yeah.
I want to hold your hand. Anyone who bought the album.
Oh, that's great.
That's
I
what they
never
were
heard-
saying. Yeah,
That's
they were-
great.
Yeah.
That's so
That was Ringo's at least take on it.
Yeah.
Which in terms of my info, I got Ringo and then I got MDC. I got Mark David Chapman facts.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, because we're
Big
bringing
fan.
the Overshadowed into the light.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Man, nothing
So-
about Pete Best.
I like
We got some Pete Best stuff.
Whoa,
you got
Pete Best?
Of
A little bit.
course.
A little bit.
great hair on Pete.
Well, maybe we could start with this: that Ringo almost didn't make it in the band.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who was the manager who wanted to oust him? Michael? Or
Stein?
that's a good guess.
I thought there was a Bob.
I think it was Michael.
It might be Michael.
something. It doesn't. One of the managers early on
Yeah.
didn't want Ringo for whatever reason. He hated lefties. Thought they were the devil's work.
Yeah.
which is spawn. So he wanted Pete Best, and then he demoted Ringo to tambourine and maracas.
It was just so funny to be demoted. Like, just every now and then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Good
just
job,
Because that's how
Ringo.
they felt about Ringo. They were like, this about Ringo. So they just handed him something where that's all he had to do. Hey, if you hate me in this episode, just play that clip again.
yeah. Just remember all the good times we just had.
Ringo's like, why am I not in the recording room with them? Just stay with us.
No. We're picking it up in the booth.
Yeah. Here, he's over there. Yeah, you're on the light switch.
We found
So you're actually on the mop after we're done recording. You're on the
No, it
broom.
makes a sound. We're gonna. Yeah. No, we're leaving the mics on.
That's great.
For whatever reason, he didn't love Ringo. He preferred Pete, but
well, Pete, I got a theory
ahead,
on that.
go ahead.
Well, Pete was a heartthrob of the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
he was attractive.
and
man.
Ringo's not the best looking at the time compared to the Beatles.
Well, they're all kind of. Pete,
I think-
Paul.
really?
No, especially later they start getting some nice
Later.
Mick Jaggery face.
But I'm talking about in the beginning.
Structure.
Pete Best was the original drummer. So at that time, I think they're all pretty ugly. Except for
Really?
Pete.
Even George? I thought George was a handsome man.
I don't know, guys. We have different tastes in men.
I guess so.
but,
That's okay.
You think? I thought Pete. What about this? I thought Pete was much handsomer than all of them.
Sure.
I don't
Yeah.
know what he looks like.
He was like a. That's why I think they keep Pete. The manager wanted Pete because I thought he kind of
boy
was
band.
like who's the guy in?
He was trying to go for BTS.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
So
the
funny that you picked BTS,
Yeah.
considering they came to America in the same theater,
Oh, really?
Whoa.
Ed Sullivan Theater.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
The B stands for Beatles, right? And BTS. Beatles the second from Korea this time.
That's more letters though.
That's just the Japanese digi release of the album has the full name. But what I was wondering is how Ringo manages to wiggle his way back into the band after he's on maracas and tambourine.
Right.
Well,
You know,
I thought Pete just quit, right?
I think they didn't jive with Pete and they
didn't jive.
jove with
they
Ringo.
jove with Ringo.
Ringo was from the same town and Pete
Liverpool,
wasn't.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all glib, dry.
They said he didn't
People.
have. Yeah, I don't think he could hang in the green room as much.
I don't think he could. I think the hang was off a little bit
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hang's important.
But it's
Hang's
funny to
huge.
think of Ringo like after they have their normal practice sessions with Pete. He's like, "All right, everybody meet up here in 5.
Yeah,
Put me back on the sticks.
yeah. Pete's out.
Put me on the skins. I got it. I could do it."
They tell Pete to go to a bar somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll meet you there. No, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, but the cover of Abbey Road is them sneaking out.
Sneaking to their
The first
second
picture is them
recording
doing
station.
this.
They're actually doing like the Scooby Doo walk.
Pete's on that side. The second picture, I'm like, oh, hey, yeah.
That's a good point, though. I don't think Pete was I think Pete was more. It said genuine and earnest in his answers to the questions.
Yeah.
More like you see that Wicked interview.
Dude, they
No.
were so funny in interviews.
Oh,
Uh,
the Beatles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna say
Unbelievably funny. And
Ariana Grande is not super funny in interviews.
no, oh no, yeah.
No, she seems strange.
she's more of a Pete Best.
Sorry, is
yeah,
my pillow
no, it's all right.
cramping you? Okay.
I like it when it keeps
They are very funny in interviews.
touching me constantly. No.
I had a quote I wrote down. If you
Was
do you have any moments you remember?
there's a haircut one.
Oh yeah, people are saying your haircuts. You have un-American haircuts, and they're like very observant. We're not from America.
Yeah.
There's one where they go, "You should get your haircut," and then I think George goes, "I just did," or something like that. They were unbelievably funny, and I think the reason I say unbelievable is because like the questions they were asked made it seem like these guys were not going to be entertaining at all in these press conferences or whatever, and then it's like just these really funny guys that are clearly trying to make each other laugh.
Yeah.
And it's like they didn't leave, like, because the three of them went to school together, right? George,
I thought
John, and Paul, or was it just John and Paul?
I think it was just John and Paul because I think John went to a private art school.
Okay.
But I don't know at what point, so you could be right. Some of them met when they were 15, and they
Yeah.
invited George, and George was like, I love this.
Yeah. But it was like, it didn't leave the schoolboy mentality at
Yes.
all.
It was very like
Yeah.
a British panel show.
Yeah.
Whenever they were doing it, I like when someone was like, what's your favorite type of woman? And then John is like, my wife, she's very nice. And then they ask George or someone or Paul, and they're like, what's your favorite type of woman? And he goes, John's wife. And the funniest part is that John did not laugh. So whoever, he's like, hey, I'm just kidding, man. And you got to know, I mean, Yoko's got to be a nightmare at home. I don't know much about Yoko. Or do you feel a lot of resentment towards Yoko for the breakup?
I just, I've seen the footage.
That's where Asian hate began, I think.
Yeah.
It was with Yoko.
I saw the.
Well, really,
Let's Get
probably
Back.
Pearl Harbor. Go ahead.
Let me check this.
And Get Back, that documentary where it shows them doing that album and like putting it, like coming up with all the songs.
What
and
album?
Stuff. The album might be called Get Back, but I
Okay.
could be wrong. No, I'm almost positive it's Get Back. My father's listening to this right now, yelling the answers. But
Hey, Mr. Rogers.
hi, Dad. It shows her singing with them and stuff, and
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
okay, yeah, not a big fan of that.
Yeah.
but I don't like hate the person.
There's a video where someone cuts her mic, I think. Like they're
Really?
performing and her mic is not on. You
That's
could kind of
really
hear
good.
her
You know, yeah,
because she's loud.
she's loud.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they all are.
Not a-
All artists' girlfriends.
yeah.
Right. She's a part of many groups. And we're talking about that one.
But yeah, unfortunately, I mean, she became like I feel like artists' spouse are called Yoko.
Yeah.
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 Like
she was the first Karen.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with her. They were talking about Mark David Chapman and the guy who killed Lennon. Lennon, not Lennon. And they were asking her and her son, and she's like 70, and she's like, "Oh, it's too soon." And I'm like, "What the fuck, man? You're annoying now. You're still annoying."
I love that. I hate that is like sort of a beautiful spot in Central Park.
Is that where he was shot?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
You can go to the spot, and it's it's a celebration of his life. There's I forget what's on the. It's like paved into the
Cobblestone or something.
yeah, and there's always people playing there.
Wow.
And
Reading
it's
copies
really
of Catcher in the Rye.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that's
Yeah.
something that's happening over there.
Yeah.
That'd be a horrible place to sell the book.
Yeah.
But
For any Stones heads.
where is that in the book, by the way?
What?
What part of the book did he inspire him to do that again?
So I dug pretty deep into MDC.
Yeah.
Okay.
And well, first of all, he shot. Well, I'll say that for later. The Catcher in the Rye is this metaphor for which Holden, the main character, identifies as, is this guy who's I guess in a field of rye, and there's children jumping off this cliff that's supposed to represent moral decline, and the catcher is saving the kids. He's catching them as they fall off the cliff. So by killing John Lennon, all right. So first. Well, by killing John Lennon, he's saving these kids because John Lennon said at one point in an interview that the Beatles are more popular than Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which it was so funny because it was like the first instance in like the 60s, I guess, of people getting triggered massively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean you're big? He meant more popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
TV
yeah.
is more popular than we're more
Yeah.
popular than Jesus. And that's not necessarily a good thing, a bad thing. It
Right.
just is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And Mark David Chapman became Christian after he fucked around with a lot of drugs when he was a kid. And they called him, the type of druggie he was a garbage head, which meant you would take anything.
Oh, wow.
Just a garbage can. So he was taking a bunch of drugs, and then he found Christ somehow. And they would have, for people trying to get off drugs through the church, they would have what they called toilet sessions or toilet sermons, where you would go in the bathroom with a Bible, with a priest, and similar to what they do now. And they would flush the pills or whatever you were doing down the toilet as they like read scripture. And then they
Oh,
would, I don't know,
wow.
baptize you
Wow.
in the
Funny
in
if
the
the-
flush.
I mean, I read it every toilet session too, so
Yeah.
that makes sense.
yeah.
Funny if the water shot up.
But how much of your sin pebbles do you flush down?
Yeah.
There.
You
Or
flush
do
any zins?
No. Only when I'm done.
Oh, you spit them out?
Yeah. I've been thinking about because
You should
gum
put them on
recession.
your coffee.
I've been thinking about putting them in
Yeah.
water so that they're not like abrasing my gums.
Oh.
You know, I think that's a good
I think that's
workaround.
gonna be too intense, dude.
It might be intense.
Are you going to
Straight-
drink that water?
That's the plan.
Ooh.
That's
I
step 2 of the
know.
plan.
And then
Step
what-
1, insert in. Step 2, drink water.
Well, you're gonna have to flavor it at least.
It was in. It's minty.
Oh,
All right.
I don't know.
So
That head turn was fun.
yeah,
he really gets viscerally grossed
Yeah.
out sometimes on here.
I would. You need to You need to do like a mukbang of that. You need to film that drinking Zin water. You know,
I do all 15 in one
Yeah.
bottle.
it's water, right?
Then I vomit into a Wendy's drive-through.
Okay, so he found Christ.
So he found Christ. John Lennon says the thing about. So he thinks that the Beatles are taking kids away from Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
and he needs to fix this. And then he shoots John Lennon in apparently Central Park 5 times in the back.
Yeah.
Oof.
Which are we to determine from that John Lennon was a coward? Should have been shot in the front. like
John
a
Lennon
man.
was a coward, or MDC was a coward?
John Lennon, because he got shot in the back.
Yeah, I don't.
Retreating.
Was he
Retreating from
was
battle.
Was it him running?
I don't know.
I thought
mean,
he came up on him and just.
it was in the back.
I
The joke is that when you get killed in war,
no,
when
yeah.
you get shot in the back, you're a coward.
I remember that from a Clint Eastwood movie.
Oh yeah.
Charlie Sheen gets shot in the back. Charlie Sheen's a new cop, and he gets shot in the back, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's a coward."
Yeah.
Oh God, what a horrible! Because getting shots and surviving.
But everyone's
heroic.
like, yeah, but his records were
Yeah.
timeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got shot. You're a hero, but where?
Yeah.
The back. Pussy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's yeah. I don't know. I always assumed that Lennon was shot in the front, but if he was shot in the back, there's a chance he was running away. But he had his kid with him, didn't he?
He could have just been like walking the other
I
direction.
thought he
He's
was
probably just
walking.
walking.
Yeah.
Yeah. MDC couldn't face
How
it.
did MDC track him down? Because now it's not like.
It was just a public appearance, a press
Oh,
thing,
okay.
a book signing, whatever. Yeah.
Man.
And then the police tracked him down pretty quickly in the park, and he was reading The Catcher in the Rye like immediately after. This guy's like obsessed.
God, yeah.
It's like rewatching The Office over and over
Yeah.
again. And they're like, "Do you have a statement you want to make?" And he signs the book and gives it to them. He's like, "This is my statement."
Wow.
Yeah.
Did the author ever make a comment?
No, I looked that up. J.D. Salinger's a famously reclusive guy, so he never commented on it, which is
Wow.
It's probably the best strategy. I mean, how could you?
Yeah, I guess.
Or he at least should have said, like, that's not what I meant.
Yeah,
Just to be clear,
he was being very
That's-
respectful.
it wasn't a read between the lines,
Yeah.
kill John Lennon. And then he turns to another camera and goes, winks.
Thanks.
That was
Or he
exactly.
goes, "Finally, one guy understood my book.
Yeah.
Now, if only 3 more can get the message, we'll put an end to these dirty British bugs once and for all."
Yeah, he's like Hitler with art school, and they'll listen to my band.
Yeah. yes. It was really J.D. Salinger.
The water bugs.
Yeah. Yeah, J.D. Salinger had
That's
a band
great.
called the Caterpillars. It was ska, and nobody really liked it. But with the Beatles out of the way, nothing would stand in his way.
That's right.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Besides potentially the Stones.
Yeah, besides the Stones. Well, he'd have to write a whole new book to take care of them.
Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be wild. There's
Yeah.
something in the bottom of my water.
Oh, there is something in your water.
Is it a Zin?
No.
Yeah, I dosed you. I dosed
Thank you. I don't know what roofie Charles put in there for me. I'm gonna have to do a toilet session. I,
Doesn't that sound like something NPR puts on for like acoustic sets? The acoustics are really good, actually, in this public restroom. Introducing
Toilet session.
tiny toilet sessions.
man, I knew about the Catcher in the Rye. And
Uh-huh.
I knew about Mark David Chapman. I didn't know about the handing over the book.
Yeah,
That's really
pretty lame.
Lame. I got.
You think it's cool?
I'm Cool's not. I'm obviously not a fan of what he did.
Yeah,
But I bet you he thought of that and was like, "This is great."
it's like yeah. I mean, it is nice to have some kind of sign off.
Yeah.
Like John Wilkes Booth after he shot Lincoln, it said "Sic Semper Tyrannis." Like
Yes.
everyone's got some kind
Yeah.
of like, aha,
Yes.
gotcha.
They do. You know that they're like, "All right, I'm excited to do this part."
Yeah, he probably practiced it a few times.
Do you think he was? Do you think he was even reading the
Here's
book?
my statement in the mirror. Here's my statement.
Here's statement mine. Oh,
Oh.
God, I got to work on.
Can you get George in here? I got to do that again.
Do you think he was even reading the book when they were coming over, or he was like, "Oh,
yeah.
they're
Yeah. It's like when you read on the subway. And you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Come on.
Is anyone watching me read?
yeah." I'm gonna hand mine over, and I'm gonna like, "Here's my statement," and it's Captain Underpants.
Yeah. And they're like, huh?
Man,
Did you read Captain Underpants as a kid?
yeah,
I loved it.
it was great.
And now this generation, which I saw the movie recently.
Oh, is
just
it
a quick
good?
aside, not Captain Underpants, Dog Man.
Oh yeah,
You know about Dog Man?
someone wanted to see Dog Man with me, and
It's
I'm
not
like,
bad.
Really?
I wouldn't see it. I mean, I bought it with the kids that I babysit for like $20 at home.
Yeah.
But it was. But they really gloss
Wait, you're paying
over.
$20 to babysit?
Yeah, it's a raw deal, man. But I don't have a lot of friends, so it works out. But similar to Captain Underpants, it's like the premise is very weird and creepy and a little grotesque. Do you know the premise of Dogman?
It's a dog cop, right?
Yeah, but after they fail to defuse a bomb together, the cop's head gets blown off, the dog's body gets blown off, and then they surgically attach the dog to the cop, just glossing over the fact that the cop is now gone. Is
Holy
dead.
crap.
Yeah. And now
I
he
didn't
just
know
lives
that.
as a dog cop.
What? So
Wow.
and how does he behave?
Like a dog.
He's licking his privates a lot.
Yeah, but it's okay.
But it's a G-rated film.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is pretty funny, but similar with Captain Underpants, like it's a teacher who has like manic episodes and takes off all his clothes and
Becomes a dog.
hangs out with kids. No, just like
sorry, yeah.
strips and then fights crime with his
Yeah.
students. It's
Yeah.
like a little odd.
Yeah, that's something you would see in the city.
Uh-huh.
You definitely see a guy running around in his underwear.
Well, public school teachers, it's a stressful job. You got to
Yeah.
blow off steam somehow.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah,
Vigilante underwear justice is one of those ways.
They can't afford those
Yeah.
axe throwing.
yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's wild. And I pitched that to the kids, and they're like, "Oh, whatever." I'm like, "He's dead. You guys know he's dead, right?"
The kids are like,
cop?
telling you to get over it.
Yeah,
Basically, they're like, "Dude, stop being a bitch."
Yeah, he's not dead. He's a dog cop.
Yeah.
That's cooler.
He still has his heart. That's where the soul lives.
Well, that's also can give the. He's got a dog's head but a man's heart.
Yep.
Rubber Soul.
Oh, nice. You have a favorite album, by the way? Is it the Mr. Pepper's Train Ride for Fun or whatever?
Which, speaking of, Ringo narrated Thomas and Friends. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I did know that.
What would you? What'd
Mr.
you-
Pepper's Train Ride for Fun.
Dr. Pepper's Soda Bunch for kids. Pepsi Colas.
Sgt. Pepper is that Lonely Hearts Club Band might be my favorite. Rubber Soul's really good. Abbey Road's good. I think it is called Get Back. For some reason
Okay.
it's
Sounds
killing
like a
me.
James Brown song.
What?
Get back.
Oh yeah.
That's what it brings to mind.
Yeah. What's your favorite album?
Well, I've only listened to the hits, so I don't
Yeah.
know. I do want to listen to. I never listened to the White Album, but people always say
Oh, yeah.
that's the first masterpiece.
Yeah. I'm a big vinyl guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm becoming an old man, but you do need to listen to an album in its entirety.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's so easy not to and just listen to a greatest hits album.
Yeah.
But all the Beatles albums are great from top to bottom, especially when you listen to them as one cohesive.
And weren't they the first ones to do that?
Yeah, I don't know about
Sgt. Pepper's was
Yeah.
considered the first concept album.
and Abbey Road, like the songs weave into from one into the other. Where I'm not good with music lingo, but like there's like you can tell there's parts of a song you heard earlier in this song,
Oh,
and
wow,
it's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
this was supposed to be listened to all at once.
Yeah.
And it's really great.
Wow.
I'm gonna say I think greatest hits are overrated.
I'm learning that as well. Yeah.
I originally thought, this is a weird example, but when I went to church, we would only go Christmas and Easter.
Yeah.
And they just do the greatest. They
Yeah,
do
they're-
Jesus,
yes.
Jesus, and it's
Yeah.
like, buddy, I've heard this story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like,
Give me
this
a
is-
deep cut.
Give me something more popular,
Give me
like the
Ezekiel.
Beatles.
Deuteronomy.
Nice.
Thank you. I stepped on a better joke.
I didn't hear what you
what'd
said.
you
What'd you
say?
say? I said, give me Ezekiel. Give me,
Oh, okay.
which is my band name.
the bread.
Yeah. Give me the binding of Isaac.
I said, give me something more popular, like the Beatles.
Oh yeah.
And then everyone would laugh.
give me the. I'm at church. I'm like, where's the White Album?
White Album, that's my Facebook.
Yeah, my mom always shows my girlfriends the White Album whenever we come over. It's me in the tub. It's me baking cookies. My parents have volumes of White Albums.
Oh, that's really great. Just like Sergeant Broccoli's Thunderpatch.
I love that. Great album. Master
Patch.
Bunyan's Wheel of Doom.
Master Bunyan.
It's a fun. They have. You can do. We can album
is a fun
generator.
bit to
Yeah,
do. It sounds like an improv team.
yeah.
Sergeant Bunions.
I always do that around the house when I come in and she's watching TV. I'm like, "What you listening to? Star Trek Warriors?" And she's like, "What?" Always gets a laugh.
Whenever someone's listening to a song, I'm like, "Who
Why'd
is
you
this?"
say that it always gets a laugh?
What?
Why'd you say it always gets a
Because
laugh?
it always works. It's bulletproof.
Sometimes
You
I'll.
guys, what?
He fact checks over here. I'll hear a song and my running bit, I'll go, "Oh, is this Phil Collins?" Any song.
That's great.
Could be Mi Gente. Could be
Mi Gente.
Havana by Camila Cabello, who was in my girlfriend's math class, by the way.
Wow.
Oh,
She was-
wow.
Yeah.
What is Did that math help? Did she say anything about her?
She's
as a
apparently
student?
pretty smart as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, obviously she's got good business sense. But we're not here to talk about Camila Cabello.
We're here to talk
We're
about
here to talk about the
The
Beats.
Beatles.
Well, we got
The
Pete
Beatles.
Best.
We
Yeah,
got Pete Best.
Here's another thing just about it was funny kind of watching some Beatles. The Beatles were obviously so famous, but there are YouTube history documentaries that invite Pete Best. Like they're so
Yeah.
popular they have to bring like the former band members to come in and talk about them.
Yeah.
And it's like that's got to be kind of a weird morning for Pete to be like, yeah, I'm going to be in a movie.
Got to talk
Yeah.
about the
Talk-
band I wasn't in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to go talk about what almost happened.
Yeah.
Was he ever in the band in a meaningful way?
I thought.
Recordings?
I
I thought
think so. Yeah.
I think he's on an album or two.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like the best years I saw. I just saw a cover photo, but it was like the best in the Beatles or something.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
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 Yeah. That must. He probably didn't have a great time with that last name and not being. In
I
the
know.
Beatles.
Well, how are you going
Yeah.
to beat a star?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you think
that's
the best is the
true.
best, but he's a
Wow,
whole
that's
star.
great point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then-
his real. I found out his real
Yeah.
last name.
Stark.
Starkey.
Yeah,
Starkey.
Starkey. Still pretty cool.
Still pretty great.
And he was. I think he was going back to because I did a little bit of Ringo. By the way, first Ringo question: do you guys? Because you play the drums.
I do.
And are you?
I didn't know
you-
that. I bought a guitar 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm done. I'm
yeah.
ready.
Yeah, you're good. You got
Yeah.
Sweet Child of Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Free bird. I almost said three bird.
Three Bird. Sergeant Three Birds.
Sergeant Three Bird's cactus patch.
Oh yeah, that's you know that already? 2 weeks.
They yell at Three Bird when they want you to play just a little bit of the song. An abridged.
Okay, I'm done.
All right.
What's consensus on him being the best drummer in the world?
Oh no.
No way. But I do like his drumming, and it's grown on me as people explain it a little bit.
I
'Cause
agree.
It fits.
I agree.
It's very simple. He's no Neil Peart. He's no Danny Carey, whoever's in Tool. But
Yeah.
he's very. It fits.
Neil
He's-
Peart.
Yeah, he's very
I mean-
minimalist, which I do enjoy.
It is really. Yeah, it's good drumming, but
Yeah.
not the best.
No, but it adds.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
My Latin well, I didn't take Latin, but my swim coach, who was a Latin teacher, told
Oh,
me that the drums make a song.
I
That's
believe
always
that.
stuck
Yeah,
with
I
me.
believe that too.
Because the rhythm is like the underpinnings of the whole groove.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
That's why
So I always
whenever I screw
appreciate
up on
that.
guitar, I'm like, there's no drums.
there's no, where are the drums? Yeah, how am I expected to be good?
But let me ask you something as a drummer.
Uh-huh.
When you're drumming, are you I'm going to learn this song? You're like, I want to learn this song, so I learn this song on the drums.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear the song when you in the drumming that you learn? Now let me try it in English. When you learn
I
this,
didn't know you brought Hasegopoulos over here, speaking to me in his native tongue.
Sorry, that was a great callback. Like when you play a song,
Yeah.
like this is the drums of this song. Can you, when you play it,
Can I pick out?
Can you
the drums?
If you were to, if you were to play the song, I swear I'm making
I
sense.
know what you're saying.
interrupting
I just
yourself.
want you to see if you get it right.
Like
I'm
if I were to give
dying.
you this, if I were to get you "Sweet Child of Mine"
Yeah.
and learn it on the drums,
Yeah.
and you were to play it, would we all go, "Oh, that's Sweet Child of Mine"?
Oh, interesting. I think so.
Really
Yeah. I mean,
interesting.
Here's another thing.
Can I learn it and play it such that it's recognizable as the song with drums
With just
only?
the drums.
I mean, maybe not "Sweet Child of Mine." 'cause
I know.
that's-
I would just. I
but-
was I was
Yeah.
drowning, and I grabbed the first piece of wood I could find.
Which is always Sweet Child of Mine.
So I pushed Leo off, and I rode "Sweet Child of Mine" off to the
Well,
the movie.
so but here's a sorry. Go ahead if you have more.
I don't want to talk anymore.
I'm done.
Um,
Yes, like for the what's that? You're gonna go far, kid from the Offspring.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I guess there's there's obvious songs.
There's obvious songs.
Uh,
But I think so. Usually when I play, I started just to like do it in the same time signature, but kind of fuck around. But lately I've been trying to be a little more like keeping with this, like I don't know, channeling my inner Starkey,
yes.
trying to fit the song.
Yes.
Yeah.
what about this? Here's a question because I play guitar too. Not
Yeah.
to. So do you. You play a variety of instruments, right?
Yeah, yeah. You're pretty good though. Whenever you come over and you pick it up, you always
I got a couple of riffs I've memorized.
You got a few riffs
King of the
that
Hill
you
theme song.
that you can still. I got the Home Depot theme song. Wait. Which, by the way, is the Home Depot theme song. I just reworked it a little bit, and that is the guitar thing that is our intro.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Wow.
I sped it up and then just added some like.
Wow.
And it's-
Wow.
yeah.
So if you slow it down, you
If
can
you
hear the
slow
whole
it
commercial.
down, you can hear someone drilling and
a
hammering.
lesbian in a car.
You can do it. We can help.
Can I return this?
Only if you slow it down and play it backwards, you can hear a lesbian asking
That's
if she
Abbey
can
Road
return
right there.
this.
It's Abbey's Road. All right. Sorry, thought it was funny.
I'm sorry. I thought
I'm
it was
sorry.
funny.
I thought it was funny.
It should be the title of my memoir.
Go sit in the bomb corner. That is a good memoir.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. I thought it was funny.
Musical question because
Yeah.
You
You gotta sing
we
it.
have to sing it.
You gotta sing it.
when
When were you hurt the most as a child?
ooh, that's
Good.
that's pop punk right there.
Child.
Because guitar, you learn a song and then you can sing it. But with drums, are we
Oh.
ever like she's got
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Ringo sang. Drummers sing.
But
Yeah.
I mean, by yourself in your room, like when you're practicing, are you
not
like
often?
okay?
No.
So you're doing it for the thrill.
Yeah.
Shoot to thrill.
Yeah.
You know that on
Thrill.
drums?
No. But I'll learn it by next week.
Hell
Just have
yeah.
it ready for you.
Hey, you guys should get to.
Yeah.
I will not play. I've made it a mission statement when I bought this guitar that I will not play for a single woman my entire life.
That is not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I promise.
No.
I'm making this promise.
You start
here
with
today.
men, and it's a
No.
slippery slope.
I'll play for men because I'm not
Ooh.
trying. I'm not trying for it to go anywhere.
Well, it
Sure.
might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
If it goes somewhere
If there's drums involved, it might go somewhere.
if I play guitar for a guy and it goes somewhere, he's punishing me. But
He's
that's
trying
what you
to get
call
you
a
to
hammer on.
He's trying to get you to stop.
yeah, exactly.
I'll show you a hammer on Steve.
Yeah, there we go.
And he shows me his whammy bar.
There we go. A little bit of a ga pedal.
What the heck?
Cut that. I'm trying to do what the kids say. Where they go, ga.
A gyat pedal.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you did more of a
Yeah.
deep throat.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
All right.
Sorry, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good Beatles song. Sorry, Mr. Rogers.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Okay, so we don't think
Mr. Rogers' Lonely Hearts Club.
Mr. Rogers' upstate apartment.
Hey, that's not too far off. They have a house. But
They did
what were we-
okay.
I refuse to play for a woman because of the stereotype of guys playing guitars for women. I'm here to break that stereotype.
Interesting. Yeah, I
Wow.
don't believe you're gonna hold.
Yeah, I
Both
don't
of you
think that's
don't
gonna-
believe me.
Because we both have played guitar longer than you, and it always happens.
It's not going to happen.
Oh, man, this is reminiscent
We've
of...
all waved our wands and
I-
watched the magic
I
work, Stephen.
promise. I make a statement here.
Yeah.
This will be on my Hinge profile. Is
Okay.
this clip?
No.
And people are going to be begging you to play guitar because
Yeah.
they know
That's
how
how I
much you.
trap it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll play guitar after we have sex,
yeah.
and then yes,
And after we date for 8 years.
yes, then maybe.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you vow never to play it like in public.
I will never do that either.
I've been seeing Dina Hashem playing drums on stage with like
Same.
bands, and I met someone, a friend, who has their friend has a band called like it's Field Day or Field Trip or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we need a drummer. Our drummer's kind of flaky. They're notoriously flaky, which is how Ringo got so much work.
Yeah.
He was one of the only drummers in the area, and so he was in high demand. And 10,000 hours. That's what makes you an expert. Which on that same line of thinking, that's how the Beatles got so good. Is they played these horrible gigs.
Yeah.
In the Netherlands, right?
Yeah.
It was like for like hours and hours and hours. It
just-
was like 8 hours straight
Yeah.
for like 2 shifts or something for a month.
I also just don't understand. In the beginning, their music was a lot of like "I love you, girl," but to picture that at a shitty, broken down pub just sounds like the wrong choice every time. I don't.
They might have
understand how
had
that
some
would-
more rockin' ones earlier on.
And again,
I don't really
like,
know their
this is-
music
They probably
super well.
covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
too.
you're probably right.
I mean, they were huge music fans, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and probably I think they were huge American music fans
Yes.
too. So they probably played a lot of American hits.
Yeah,
and
you're
stuff.
probably right.
But have you seen Paul McCartney's Carpool Karaoke?
No.
No.
It's really great because they're in Liverpool.
Are they driving on the wrong side of the road? and they crash?
They're driving on the American side.
Yeah.
And
in Liverpool.
but
Well,
they,
it's my show, so you can. We're gonna drive.
they go to one of the pubs that they
Oh,
used
wow.
to play,
Oh.
and they surprise the pub
That's awesome.
with a concert.
Wow.
And you look at the pub and you're like, that's probably the best one they can find of the ones they used to play, and it ain't a great
Wow.
Yeah.
spot. And it's like, especially as people that perform in bars, it's very relatable to be like,
Yeah.
well, it's nice to know that even the greatest people
Yeah.
in entertainment history had to deal with the crap that we
Yeah.
deal with.
Spent hours and hours doing
Yeah.
horrible shows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're lucky enough that it's like after 10 minutes, here in the city, or at the most 60 minutes on the road.
Yeah.
Whereas a band,
Yeah.
that amount of time for a crowd that stinks, I don't know. I mean, yes, you have stuff to hide behind, like you have actual amazing equipment, but I can't imagine.
I also agree with this. I don't, because I feel like as a comic, sure, you're not getting laughs, and that's what people are afraid of.
Yeah.
But once you get past that, you can joke around and make fun of the moment. But if
Yeah.
you're sucking as a band, you just be like, oh, yeah, you have 3 more minutes of this.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
break it.
It's kind of hard to tell too whether you're bombing. I mean, I guess if people are talking and not looking at you.
I always that's my favorite thing to talk to. I love meeting musicians, and I really love talking to them about performing.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite thing to ask them is like, how do you know a crowd stinks? And they're like, well, you can tell. And do you play live?
No, but I do want to with this band if it's
Yeah.
possible. I think
Yeah.
it'd be fun.
You got to learn the name of the band soon. I will.
Yeah,
say that.
yeah.
I think it's
Hey,
called
guys.
I think it's called It's Field Day's Lonely Fart Jizz.
See, fun game, right, guys?
I think it's called St. Gronkowski and the
I had one
Starbucks
in
gum.
I had one in the can because I was like, he's gonna actually try to remember.
Oh,
it.
you were-
and you
I
surprised-
stole it, yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
took it.
I'm so
I
glad
s-
you did
I
it.
stole
What's
first.
yours?
No, I didn't even have one. I would.
But you were
Oh,
just
yeah,
gonna
you were
improv.
ready.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
ready.
Man, I like to keep things loose and light.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Charles is going back to the script, so we're gonna try.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
We're
trying to
gonna
find.
feed you your lines next.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll have, just because I'm keeping track of time, I want to see if we can get any later down the road. Get any
I
fun.
do down the Abbey Road. I know something about Ringo. He's a very sick kid. Did you know
Oh,
that?
I didn't know
Yes.
this.
Yeah, when he had his 7th and his 14th birthday in hospital.
Yes, and he's super poor. He was
Yeah. His mom was like, his dad had no interest in raising him.
Yeah.
Walked out, which is crazy that's like people just do that.
Oh, yeah. The amount of
Just
art.
unsubscribes from having a
Yeah.
kid, and not interested.
Yeah.
Not interested in this type of content anymore.
Right.
And he leaves forever.
And the amount of times those dads come back when they're famous, and then the artist takes them.
Yeah.
Is
Well, then you
wild.
always want you want a dad.
Yeah, that's
You
Yeah.
want your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can get them.
Yeah.
But the mom, she was a barmaid, bar wench, and
You should prefer that.
yeah, she preferred bar wench. And she must have worked so much to get pay all these hospital bills. They
Yeah.
must have had so much medical debt. I don't know what the healthcare system was like in the 60s in England.
Only child.
Yes.
That's maybe why.
And
That's-
big. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, also the dad left, so logistically it would have been difficult to make more. But budget-wise, it was probably also smart.
Yeah.
But he had appendicitis when he was 6, and he was in the hospital for 12 months because of complications or something.
Almost a year.
Oh,
Wait.
this is a funny interview moment. They asked Ringo.
Yeah.
So Ringo, are you into anything, any political movements? And then his bandmates go, no, he doesn't even smoke. And then Ringo goes, and just smokes a cigarette. So
They were so funny.
they're very funny. When he's 7, that's what happens. And then when he's 14, he gets tuberculosis. And so that's how he's in hospital. So 2 years of his childhood.
Yeah.
And then later on, when he's touring and he's smooching all these ladies of whose hands he's holding, he gets like mono or something. He gets like, you know,
Ooh, have you ever had mono?
vagina throat or something. He gets
Yeah.
some respiratory disease.
You got Love Me Do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Love me duculosis or something. Yeah. He's a sickly guy.
Man.
But this guy in the Ringo doc, who is a big Ringo stan, characterized him as the glue.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
the glue. He
yeah.
was the good spirited. You always need one guy in the band that everybody likes.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very very insightful. It's a great point.
The glue usually is the one that gets teased and made fun of the most also.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like in that cigarette thing. That's-
Yes.
They all just, you know.
Yeah. It's like that's the person that gets teased the most. I feel like it's become a running joke to make fun of Ringo, but it's like that wasn't the joke the band was making.
Yeah.
The band, like, usually you make fun of your friend that you know can take it
Yeah.
and is the glue.
Yeah.
So it's so funny that everyone like gives Ringo crap and all that, and it's like Ringo's great. I get passionate about glue.
About what?
Yeah.
Oh, about glue.
About the glue.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you
you're
make
gonna
fun
be-
of John and his wife, and he, clams up. And
Yeah,
he's-
yeah.
you know,
Because he's not used to jabs being thrown at him.
Yeah.
Where Ringo knows to have the comedic
Yeah.
timing
Yeah.
of the smoking.
Yeah.
It's great.
Funny guy.
Yeah, and I
What
like
else
his
was there?
catchphrase of peace and love.
Yeah.
Peace
That's
and
fun.
love,
Everywhere he
peace and
goes,
love.
peace and love, guys.
Peace and
One
I mean,
thing to
Octopus's
say-
Garden, it rips.
Oh, yeah. What are some of the songs he wrote?
And I Get By with a Little Help from My Friends.
That's a great one.
That one rules.
Yeah.
Um,
So you wrote Octopus. What? is it?
Octopus's Garden, which I really
Octopus's
love.
Garden.
And I think he's Yellow
Love My
Submarine,
Friends.
but
Yes.
I've
I think
never
he
really
is.
dug Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
But it has
whatever.
so much, like, just like the most. It seems like it's the most legendary song. The way that people talk about it. I listened to it again today, and I was like, it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
I put Octopus's Garden above it, and definitely By with a Little Help from My Friends is probably the top Ringo song for me. It's really a beautiful song. And I remember liking it on a deeper level when I saw Strawberry Fields.
I need to. Well, this is my take on Ringy, is because we're close. Rishabhata Ringy
Ringo
Starr.
doorbell over here.
Ringy Starr.
Wrinkle, wrinkle, riddle star.
Rip Van
Ricky
Ringo.
Ringo, Ringle Star. Charles Ringle.
We can leave, Stephen. We don't have to be here for this.
Get
I'll
out of
be
my-
here, yeah.
Get out of Charles's apartment.
You can invite. I got you a parting gift. It's glue. Because he was a
One glue over the cuckoo's nest.
Ooh.
over the glue glues.
Blues glues.
I think.
I think
Ringo-
whatever was in that water kicked in.
Oh, yeah. It was Zen. That were Zen
was
pellets,
Zen,
my
baby.
friend. That was Zen walnut pellets from my cats.
Yeah, they eat out of mahogany bowls.
Yeah,
They have an
I know. I give them like raw food. I give them. Yeah, they're gonna live forever. I hope.
Definitely gonna outlive you.
What do you
Yeah, I hope
feed? Tell me after. What
I
you're
will. I'll
feeding
show
them.
you. I'll
All
send
right?
you home with a pack.
Please. That's what I get for being on the pod.
That's the goodie bag we give everyone. It's mahogany litter.
It sucks when they don't have cats.
Yeah, you never get any. You get real people food. I think Ringo, and this is going to be, you could argue this because I don't know much about the others' upbringing, about their, besides all the other band members really falling in love with American rock music. I don't know too much besides Ringo was growing up. He seemed like he was the most impoverished and was a skiffer. And I don't know if the other band member.
about that.
Skiffing, you know, skiffing. So this was I'm sure you're familiar with it.
Great
But
pull.
it was the musical style, I think, akin to the UK or maybe more so Liverpool, of when you're too broke to have an instrument, so you play the wash
Skiffle.
bowls.
Oh,
Skiffle.
Yeah.
wow.
Skiffle. Okay.
There's an L. Skiffle.
And then like the
That's why I didn't know.
yeah, that's exactly. My apologies. How could you?
I know skiffling.
Yeah, Mrs. Skiffle's Club
Bless
Red.
you.
That was great.
Um,
Man, we should do this with no mic sometime. We should be hanging out
No,
more. This is
no.
great.
no.
No? Wait, what the
No,
hell?
of course.
No.
Yeah,
over
you don't
when-
live close enough.
I saw Renan the other day, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Where do you live?" And he's like, "Right there." And I was like,
That's my building then.
"Oh, okay, yeah."
I live in the same building as
I
him.
caught him. This is funny. You ever run into a friend? I saw him at a Starbucks, and he was mid bagel chewing, and I was like, "Of course." No, I'm kidding. But I was like, "Hey, Renan," and he was like, "No," and I was like, and I was like, "We don't need to. I don't need to say, hey, you're eating." And he was like, "No. So how are you?" And I was like,
he actually wasn't eating.
I saw, but the whole conversation, he was. You saw. It's like when you see like laundry in the dryer. I just saw it tumbling in his mouth the whole time, and I was like, "You're so polite." But
He's very polite. He wanted to talk to you.
Yeah.
You beat bagel.
Yeah, wow,
pretty
that's
good.
crazy.
Look at it that way.
Yeah, put that on my
For
credit.
Renan, too.
Yeah. Renan likes a bagel.
Yep.
Who doesn't?
So I think he was. So when he was a kid, I think his dang, I don't know if he was given.
Skiffling.
Yes, I don't know if he was a drum skiffer, because in skiffing you could put together skiffling, skiff to my loo,
Skiffle the rainbow.
skiff with my glue.
That's my favorite candy, Skiffles.
Skiffles, yep.
You had it ready too, huh?
Washboard the rainbow. Taste the rainbow. Yeah, they would.
but-
Go ahead.
I don't know if it was because in skiffling you only needed a guitarist to
Yes.
make everything else.
You could start a skiffle band.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you need a broom handle.
I've got
and
Skiffleus.
No, you need a
That's a great ska skiffle band.
Skiffle.
Gideon financing on that.
Skiffleitic fox.
Yeah, there we
That's
go.
your. That's good.
I've got Skiffles would be
Yeah.
such a funny
Yeah. Or
of them
make
too.
a death metal
You've
just
got-
skiffless.
Yeah,
You
you've got skiffleus.
Yeah.
You washboard. You'd have a tea drum or something that you'd play, like one of
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
Mumford and Sons boxes.
Yeah.
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 That's
And
what
then
we-
the string instrument could be, you're right, the bath pail with a broomstick
Yes.
and a string.
That was my favorite because you could bend the broomstick and get different notes on
Yeah.
the boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
on
You
the
do that?
bass. I can't do it, but I've heard one could. Not me though. Not after these tariffs. You seen the mop prices these days from Britain? You do need an authentic Liverpool mop.
25% of my skiffle.
I had one ready for you.
Oh, a factoid?
Yeah.
You're done with skiffling?
I'm enjoying it, but I was excited to tell you it.
Yeah, please.
Do you know that Paul McCartney had a sibling that was also in comedy?
Yes, I want to hear about
No.
this, only because you brought it
That's
up
big.
months ago.
That's a brother. That's a
Yeah.
sibling. That's good.
He had a career in music and comedy, most notably as a member of the Scaffold, a British comedy musical group known for the hit Lily the Pink.
But I know what that's about. Probably a Georgia O'Keeffe themed number.
There's 3 members and 2 were in the stink. Wait, that's not how they
That was their.
That's funny.
That was their follow-up song.
I keep doing the stink.
do.
One of the thing too. One of the
dirty-
big
Wait,
two in the
I got
stink.
it.
You dirty dog.
That's how little I do dirty jokes. I got that so wrong.
Dude, the stink is so funny.
That's the name of the app right
That
there.
should be the name of the episode 2 in this thing. My
you
first dirty
naughty
joke
boy.
and like my whole
Oh,
the whole
that's
ep-
great.
man.
Blocked it. People will come back decades from now.
That's
the
great.
beginning of it. You become a
Yeah.
dirty comic.
Yeah, I'm huge and dirty now.
You're who's a dirty comic that I could put your name on?
Dice
Blake?
Clay?
Yeah, I was trying to think of
Yeah, he was like a filthy
who's a
comic
super dirty
nowadays.
comic.
All right, well we can switch.
Yeah, we'll get.
We can swiffle
we can
it up.
skiffle.
Skiffle
Speaking
out
of two in the
skiffle on
stink,
out of here.
Here's a quick stink fact.
Stink fact.
I farted.
He's back.
Anyway, Steve, what else you got on the brother?
Here's a quick stink fact.
I'm in the corner, the stink corner.
Yeah, like Tucker's
I'm over by the
videos.
litter box. Yeah.
Let's do a quick stink fact. Can we cut to Charles for the stink fact?
Thank you, Chuck. Oh God, I'm having a
You're having a
rough
real
day.
toilet session.
Oh, you gotta have some fiber. Eat some of your cat's
belly.
litter.
Hit me with the stink fact.
George Harrison lost his virginity while the other Beatles were in the room,
Ew.
and they cheered when he finished.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
That's how they came up with the White Album.
Now that's a band.
Which one's my camera?
Yeah. Okay, so George was the glue.
Yeah. It's called
He
the
was
rubber hole.
Glue all along. That's gross. Is there any more details? Where did that happen?
I don't know. No, just
In
a
the
quick
booth?
little.
Just ask chat where George lost his virginity that they were privy to it. Where do you think it happened? Maybe recording studio, a bar, bathroom.
I bet you it
They're
was
all
at
in a tree outside George's house.
It was probably at a gig. A gig.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. Whoa. I read it.
It's my stink fact.
Who's got the computer? George Harrison famously lost his virginity in Hamburg, Germany, while the Beatles were playing in the early days. Even funnier, he later revealed that in an interview that it happened in a bunk bed in a room that they all shared, and the other Beatles were in the room at the time.
Wow.
He said that after he finished, the other guys applauded as if some kind of performance. George later joked about it, saying, "When I woke up the next morning, they were all saying, 'What was it like?'"
Was he the first one?
I don't think so. I think
No,
that's why
they
he
were
did
just
it.
What was it
Yeah.
like, George? Did it feel
Yeah.
good?
And some joke where it leads to my guitar gently weeps.
Oh, there we go. I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it be.
Nice.
Well, let it be. Yeah.
Come together. There we
Oh
go.
Come
my
together!
God.
It's right there.
It was there the whole time.
Come
Yeah.
together. And that's how
Oh.
they wrote the song.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, George was flat top. It's the line. Here comes old flat top.
Oh yes.
Here he comes, old flap top.
Yeah.
There's a boy.
Yeah.
Kind of
There
sounds
he
like
goes,
they were
old flap
finishing
top.
in that. What was that one song? Here comes. Is it Helter Skelter?
You might be thinking to come together.
Oh yeah, it is come to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like they're doing so. in the
I
song.
love his drums in that song.
Yes,
That's a great
Yeah,
drum
yeah.
song.
Have you heard Aerosmith cover?
No.
It's really good.
No.
I mean, obviously the original's the best, but that's really.
If he had more drum parts like he did in Come Together, I could see him more as a contender
I don't know. I would.
for top 5, top
And
10.
you
That's a
even-
very rock, that's like a hard rock song for how old.
Yes.
Yeah.
the
It's
Beatles.
it's their Enter Sandman.
Yeah.
Boom.
Which I'll never play for a woman.
No.
What song would you play? Let me.
Never.
No, because you will. I'm trying to think.
I won't.
What? No.
I'm telling you,
This
I
is like
won't.
a comic in the beginning being like, "I'll never do a callback." You will. You're gonna, and you're gonna love
I
it.
realize it's the only way forward.
Yeah.
No, I refuse. I refuse.
Okay, as long as it's Thunderstruck. Hey, babe, can I serenade you?
I'm right now trying to learn Nothing Else Matters.
That's a good one.
Metallica.
The chord,
yeah.
those
yeah.
are chords
Yeah,
are nice.
that's
I know
good.
that one.
Yeah.
If you need any help, I'll come behind you and help your fingers.
Like a golf
Yeah.
swing.
Yeah.
Like Ghost.
Yes,
Yeah.
like Ghost. Yeah. Let me tell you what, Steven, I think you matter a whole lot.
You're shirtless.
Yeah. Well, you are too. It helps with the osmosis of the teachings. Did you ever listen to Tenacious D?
Yes, but I'm now getting into. It's crazy when you learn. Like, I haven't tried to learn an instrument in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to start to try to learn an instrument, and then you start. And I listen to music on a constant basis. Like, I always have headphones in because it's better than thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I heard Tenacious D the other day, and I'm like, man, they're great. Like,
They're
I
great
always
musicians.
like them, but it's
Yeah.
like they're so good.
They're good
Yeah.
musicians. Rise of the Phoenix is a very good album.
Yes.
And they have a very funny sketch in the middle where Jack Black is telling Cage that he needs to up his guitar game. Like, we need to get you a teacher. I need to hire you. Have you heard the skit?
Maybe.
And he's like, so he's right here. He's like, oh, come on, man. I don't need really lessons. And then Jack Black's like, oh, he's here. And then Jack Black comes. It's just an audio sketch. And he's like, hello, I am Felipe. I am Felipe. I'm here to teach you. Now let me put my finger on your finger. I put my finger in your mouth. I put my finger on your cock. And then he's like, what? He's like, dude, I'm waking you the fuck up. We need to shake it up. And then they do a very fun song with like Spanish guitar and trumpets and shit. It's so fun.
They're very fun. Yeah,
very entertaining. Highly recommend Tenacious D. If you get one thing out of this Beatles episode, go listen to this.
They did a cover of I Think I Love You, which is a Partridge Family song. And for some reason, it was on a recommended song playlist for me. And it rips. It's so good. I mean, Jack Black's an amazing singer, too.
Mm-hmm. He really is.
He's not just a panda.
No.
Yeah.
He does kung fu.
And you know what? I think that's the big lesson here.
Jack Black is more than just a panda.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda's Sour Patch Brigade. Sour Patch Brigade.
Well, let's see here. It is 7:42.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost Survivor
almost
time.
Survivor time.
Ooh, baby.
And we're going to try to preserve your relationship, and we're going to have to wrap this up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to because it's taking into account set down,
tear down,
break
stuff.
down.
Yeah, we could do maybe like 3 more minutes, and then let's really squeeze the juice out
Let's
of
make
this.
him sweat.
Lester.
Yeah, that's good. No,
let's-
she's still in there. She's happy.
yeah, she's occupied.
She's playing with the cats.
Survivor's big.
I did walk in there.
she's playing
to
with
get
her
a pillow,
mobile.
and she was just flapping a string in front of the cat.
You're like,
And I was
good,
good for you.
good.
Yeah, that's what I thought you did when you were alone.
I wonder what Heather does when I'm not home.
There's no cat. I got the cats to make her look normal to me. Yeah.
Yeah, you put the stick with the feather on it in her hand because she was already doing this.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get some cats and some walnuts.
She used to be a conductor.
To nobody. Zach, could you bring your drums here? Get in front of her.
Yeah, she needs some stimulation. Is there any other Beatles facts we got?
I'm trying to think of anything controversial. I wonder, by the way, here's a quick one. Did anybody ever say Yoko Ono? Because she was a menace.
Probably a headline somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Yoko.
Brian Regan just showed up. Oko, yo no.
Yoko,
Oh wait,
no.
I just switched it. I went
Yeah, but
Oko, yo
that's what he
no.
would
Oko,
do.
yo no.
Yo no, Oko.
I got Yokos in my Yonos. I forgot.
Man.
It's like a cereal that you're like, who ate all the who ate all the Onos? Somebody left me with just Yokos.
My Yokos. I've only got Yokos. There ain't no Onos.
No Onos in my Yoko Ono crunch.
That's great.
She should come out with a cereal line. Is she still alive?
I believe so.
Who's still alive?
Ringo
Us.
and Paul
Us.
and us.
Okay, good. That's 3 out of
Paul? I saw
7
a couple
billion.
I think
You
I
saw
saw
him?
him 2 years ago, maybe.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Just
eating a bagel
he
in
was
Astoria.
skiffling. He was eating a bagel with Renan.
Like, no, I can talk.
No, it's fine.
Paul, it's good.
I'm not doing anything.
I saw him live, and then he brought Bruce
Wow.
Springsteen out.
Whoa.
And what was so funny is it was MetLife in Jersey, right? MetLife's in Jersey.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Hilarious.
I know. Well, I always say it, and then I'm like, wait, what's Mets play at Citi Field? I always get when I hear Met, I'm like, oh, that's no. Anyways, I'm an idiot. But
At the opera. You saw him at the
Saw him at the
Metropolitan Opera.
Some of the Met.
But he brought out. I met him. He brought Bruce Springsteen out, and famously a Jersey guy. And when he comes out, everyone's yelling Bruce.
Bruce.
But Paul goes, "Oh, you're saying Bruce? I thought you guys were booing him." It was like a really great.
They get a big laugh.
Yeah, I got a huge
Yeah.
laugh. It seemed very earnest. Like he was like, "Why are you guys booing
I
him?"
thought you liked this guy.
Yeah. And then they played.
Turns out everybody hates their boss.
They played Glory Days.
Wow.
It was really great. Famous Beatles song.
I don't know. I didn't know that.
No, it's not.
It's Bruce, right?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right. Okay.
But it was really fun. Yeah, so Paul's alive.
Is
and
George?
Ringo.
I think
No,
George
is
is
not.
dead.
Okay, Ringo and then John.
And John.
Famously a
And-
coward.
John
Dad,
the
that's
Pussy
Zach.
Lennon. That's what it says on his. All right. Is Pete still alive?
Don't
I think
know,
he works at a
honestly.
deli down the street.
Pete's Best Deli.
That's
Pete's Best Sandwiches.
honestly,
Yeah.
that'd be.
Yeah.
I would
Pete's
go
Best
there.
Deli.
Yeah. And,
Sounds like it already exists, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think there's like 3 in the city.
Yeah. There's Lil Pete, the
Which
comedian.
one's the best?
Who else? They had a manager that like
He died.
Yeah, that died pretty abruptly from a brain hemorrhage.
Traumatic maraca injury. That's what happens when you mess with a star. You get sucked in to its gravity.
There's
Yeah.
some dead air.
Yeah, it's good. No, we'll use that.
We use that, yeah.
I'd like to capture that. I think that's yeah.
That might be it.
Yeah.
We could wrap it up.
I'm worried about. Oh no! I thought that was her coming out going 10 minutes.
Yeah, what the fuck? She's a
I'm a big. I get everything. I'm a big
Yeah.
Survivor guy.
I'm doing a audition
Charles is
because of her.
You're doing an audition for
Yeah,
Survivor?
because our friends back home got far, but they randomly picked her out without doing an audition or anything. I think it was one of those random. We met at a restaurant waiting tables, and so did a lot of our good friends back home. We all kind of met at this restaurant, and I think it was a day where our mutual friend was waiting on a table, and it happened to be like a Survivor casting agent. And then she convinced our mutual friend, and that friend got far. And then I think she got to a far phase, and our friend just ghosted them. She's like, I couldn't do it if I got on it. And we're like, what? And my
Why not?
Well, she probably
I got
It's
a
scary.
double
Yeah.
breakfast shift tomorrow.
yeah.
So
I couldn't.
I
I
can't
can't be
let
on
these-
it.
I can't try to get $1 million.
I
Yeah.
have regulars that need me.
Yeah, but now Heather has hit that agent up, so I will be sending in a tape.
You have to have a minimum age?
Oh no, there's not to my knowledge.
Not to
He's not
send-
close to the minimum age. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Because there's that NASA guy who's.
Oh wait, I'm hearing maximum in my head.
I'm
You're
sorry, I
saying
meant minimum, yeah.
No, you said minimum.
Yeah, I meant it too.
I mean,
I also meant it.
I'm the idiot. Is what I want to be clear.
Oh, no, Yoko. Yoko
I'm
Ono.
Yoko in this
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah.
probably 21. 'Cause
Yeah.
they've had 20.
Probably.
they've had-
I think they've
no,
had like
20.
18-year-olds.
You're right.
Maybe.
I think there was
Maybe
yeah, I think
20,
you're right.
21.
Yeah.
What is the idol? I keep hearing you guys talk about the idol and who
Ooh,
has the
it's-
idol.
It's a
Is
lot,
it
man.
immunity?
That's a-
Now
Yes.
it's a lot.
It gives immunity.
You
okay.
get
Yes.
immunity if you play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother show.
But now there's it's all wrapped in different tasks.
Got it.
it's really great.
Yeah.
I fantasize about auditioning, but I'm
Dude, you
auditioning you
gotta-
can just easily do.
Yeah. Green screen right here for you.
Be
I'm
on a roller
afraid-
coaster.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
I'm Steven!
I love to do the show.
Man, that's great.
And then we can do a really
We could do probes.
sucking up, a sycophantic Prost episode where you just suck his dick the whole time, and then you just send that in.
If you do probes as an episode, I want to.
We'll do it for you. Yeah. I mean, you live.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
I don't know anything
We can do
about
it.
him.
Big fan.
Yeah. Okay.
Big
we
fan
could
of
do
that guy.
We could do probes, and this works. Because usually I have to go. We go to Flatbush Studios, and
Studios.
so this is a good hometown. Yeah. If you ever want to do the pod again, we could definitely.
I'd
gear
love
up
to.
probes. Yeah, let's do it. We'll do probes soon.
Yeah, I would say this was just on the verge, but
I'm about
successful
to probe my
enough.
Pants. Yeah.
Yeah, right on the line. But I think you eked over. I think you eked over there.
Yeah. What?
I don't know.
All right, everybody.
I think we've run out of steam, folks. It's
Yeah.
time for the plugs.
Oh,
Doing the stink. Where can they find you, Steven?
Steven Two Sticks.
Well, bad news if you like that joke. I have a clean comedy special coming out with Nate Bargatze.
Yikes.
Woo!
On April 11th. Will this be out before that or after
Yes,
that?
Before that.
Before that. April 11th, there'll be like a premiere. So just for the love of God,
Black
please.
tie optional.
Yes,
Be
black
there.
tie. You can be naked when you
Yeah.
watch it. Just please, for the
Yeah.
love of God, watch it and share it. It's called Half of We. There's a twist ending to the end of the special.
Ooh.
Yeah, you guys know the twist.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know the twist.
You do. But anyway.
Oh, I know the twist.
Yeah, but please check it out.
Where's it premiering?
On Nate Bargatze's YouTube, Nateland.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
What's your Instagram?
Handles?
Oh,
what are your
Steven
handles?
Rogers Comedy.
Steven Rogers
Is
Comedy.
everything. That's everything.
Zach Russell Comedy.
Charles
_ Engel. And follow the podcast, Overshadowed _ podcast. Check out the Patreon. We got bonus stuff on there. We got 2, 3, even 4 in the stink sometimes for the most dedicated
For the $25
fans. Yeah, for
a
the
month.
$25 tier, we'll get all 5 up there. Thank you for listening, folks. Go check out Steven's comedy. He's very funny, and he lives in Astoria. This has been the Beatles. Good night.